Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense. No, none taken.
That is right, none taken. I am the Movie Moron. This is the Movie Moron podcast.
What?
I am your host.
It is.
Easton Moore.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
And then with us, as always, is our practical co-host, Trevor.
Never heard of him.
Oh.
That would have been better to use as a guest, but sorry.
It's okay.
Everyone's subject to
Scrutiny.
Yeah.
at the beginning of the podcast. And then with us, as always, is our all-time guest, Tristan.
Oh! Don't do that. I didn't like that.
If you guys listen to our whole episode, you'll get that.
No. I told you to delete it.
Well, it's archived forever.
Was that actually Tristan?
Oh, yeah. It was at the end of one of our episodes.
That was me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Well, if she listened all the way
I
through the
did not
podcast, she
like
would have
that.
already...
Ew. Why'd you do that?
Because you did it.
I didn't know it was going to be famous. Okay?
What was the... You were trying to...
I was being an anime girl running into things.
Yeah. I was like, you were being an anime girl, but
What?
I didn't remember the context of what you were saying.
That's the sounds they make when they're running into stuff.
I don't remember what episode this was on.
It was like
It's fine.
3
Nobody
episodes
needs
ago.
to know.
Oh, it was probably the season
It didn't
one then.
actually happen.
No, you were here. It was it was the Renfield.
You did
and
happen because then you said,
Pope's
don't
Exorcist."
ever do that again.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
remember that very vividly.
Yeah, because I didn't realize it was going to be up for the world to hear.
Twice.
I've
Now
had
it's
that.
a soundbite.
Now it's a sound.
We can upload it to the internet.
Please don't do that.
It's already uploaded to the internet.
Are people going to do gross things? Okay, I don't even want to think about it. Just take it off.
I don't know. If she gets mad enough, that might just be a beep, and
What?
you guys will have no idea what we're talking about.
Plot twist, it was
Thank
actually
you.
me making that sound.
Okay. This week, I guess we're peeking at Demi's non-eye.
I saw it looked yellow.
But no, we are. There was nothing really that came out this week. We were planning on doing
Fool's Paradise.
Fool's Paradise. Yeah, I knew it had something to do with Paradise, but I keep on thinking Ticket to Paradise.
Oh,
which is
yeah. The rom-com.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
I want to see that movie.
we already
I think
watched
it's on
it.
Peacock.
Oh, we did watch it?
Yes.
Oh, no, we did watch it. Yeah.
But then nobody was really watching it. It wasn't at our theater.
Mhm.
We would have had to pay money for it. Ugh. We already paid $20 a
Who wants
month.
to do
Yeah.
that?
And then there were a couple other ones. Ben Affleck is in a new action
Hypnotic.
movie.
Looks.
And then there's Knights of the Zodiac,
yeah.
which is a random sci-fi action movie. Again, was not hitting our theaters. So, I don't know. We just decided to do one that came out last week that was kind of under the radar that still was in our theater. It is called Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And it got a lot of positive reception on Letterboxd and other things. And so we're like, we'll go check it out.
Is based on a book.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys know what it got on Letterboxd and Rotten Tomatoes and such?
I know Letterboxd. I didn't.
It's
see
4.0.
Rotten Tomatoes.
The Rotten Tomatoes is a 99%
Oh my goodness.
Really? I'm so proud
tomato
of them.
meter, and then audience scores a 94%. So the audience is also really much.
So this must be a pretty faithful adaptation for it
Okay.
to have that audience score, I'd imagine.
That's fair. Yeah. I didn't know it was a book. So
Yeah.
you're
I
a
literally
research
told
person.
you that.
Oh, you did?
I
Yeah,
literally
she
told
said
you
before we
it's a book.
came in. And then I thought about it during the
Before we
showing
came-
to the movie.
Oh,
Yeah. Or before we walked in the theater, she
My-
said, I think it's based on a book.
my
And then
brain may have been turned off. So
You're in movie mode. No talking. No
no.
thinking.
Sometimes I hear words, but they don't compute. They don't actually go into the noggin. So, but anyway, so that's what we're doing this week. If you haven't heard of it, haven't watched it, just listen to the spoiler-free part because it is interesting. If you have no idea what it's about, we'll kind of give you the rundown, and you can decide if you want to watch it. Obviously, it's liked by a lot of people. We'll give you our opinions. So, general thoughts. Trevor, how did you like the movie?
I'll preface with saying,
You're a guy.
yeah, I'm a guy, and however, this movie deals with growing woman things, adolescence and young girls, and how to deal with that and what that's like. And I'm all for that. We should absolutely normalize talking about periods and boy or girl, growing up. And there's like when I was in school anyway, it was kind of taboo to talk about. We don't talk about sex stuff. We don't talk about growing bodies. We don't talk about how sex works. All that, whatever. Anyway, so I'm always glad when we get mainstream media that tackles those kinds of topics.
That's not Big Mouth.
Yeah. Anyway, that being said, I liked a lot about this movie. I liked the production value. I'm always appreciative when they can get storefronts to look like they are from the 1970s.
Yeah, and for the most part.
Yeah, or in any location, they can make it look like, especially public areas, making it look like it's in the 70s. I think that, and this movie takes place in 1970. I think the acting is really good between everybody. I think everybody is really interesting. I think everyone acts really, really well in this.
Which is surprising because I don't know how old the kids are, but they definitely are not adult. These aren't 18 or 19-year-olds acting as middle schoolers. There might be one.
There's only, and we'll probably talk about that. I think we'll all have the same thought.
But they're probably somewhere around the 14 to 15-year-old range, or maybe a little bit younger. But so I was expecting, something a little bit less on the acting front, but they all did. They all held their own. Yeah. And our main actress specifically did a phenomenal job.
She does a good job. Yeah. So,
Abby Ryder is 15.
Yeah, so that's why I figured somewhere around that.
So the things that I didn't like about this so much are, with all the characters being the way they are, I never felt like we got much interesting things happening between them. It was always just kind of like, okay, they're in a room together and they're talking. We never really got a lot of conflict between them. And so I felt like I was just, and I know this is a coming of age movie, but I just feel like I was watching someone's life and it wasn't really going anywhere. It was just like, now this thing's going to happen because she's a kid. And now this thing's going to happen because they're parents. Now this thing's going to happen because she's a protective grandmother. That kind of thing. The other thing that I didn't totally vibe with is I feel like this movie as a whole has a really hard time finding what it wants to say and bringing those arcs to completion. Like they're tackling womanhood in this, they're tackling religion in this, and they're tackling not marital problems, but like
family dynamics.
Family dynamics. Yeah, and all three of those are huge. Like, and the way they're presented are all very big, and I feel like they only kind of reach halfway on all of them. The last 20 or 30 minutes of this movie, I really, really liked, because we finally got all of that. We finally got, okay, we're seeing the conclusion of this. Okay, now this is going to come into the picture, and we're going to talk about this, and this is going to be the main focus. Okay, now this thing is going to happen. We're going to get this wrapped up. But I feel like it just took forever to get there, and it felt just middling to me.
I mean, the movie may be a tad long.
Sure.
That's my only legit complaint. But I don't think it's a detriment, but I do think you probably could shave a little bit off of this and it would be fine, but I don't know the exact.
It's hour 40.
Yeah. So really, I guess it's not even as bad as I thought. I thought it was creeping close to 2 hours. So yeah, there was a moment where I thought, okay, we've been here for a while, but
yeah,
I didn't have.
And I'll admit, I was checking my clock fairly often in this. And yeah, the movie was set to end at like 6:50, I think, and it was 6:30, and that was when everything started ramping up. And I was like, okay, now I feel like we're getting somewhere. I feel like something is finally happening.
So then do you not like slice of life movies?
I do, but I like slice of life movies when we're getting interesting conflict and conversations throughout. And maybe it's just because I could sympathize but not empathize. In
What
this
about
case, maybe.
okay, so what about like coming of age movies then?
Like I like we talked about the other day, like John Hughes stuff. I like 16 Candles and
I mean, like,
So the thing about this movie is there's not an insane amount of external conflict.
mm-hmm,
It's a lot of internal conflict.
mm-hmm.
And so there are times where, yes, you may feel bored because there's not a lot happening physically on screen.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling their narration of her, and you're seeing how she's feeling in these exact moments.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're just not, they were wanting something way more grounded in like a normal girl's life and how they deal with these, and like, of course, you're gonna have the fringe moments where like there are girls that deal with like legit hard things that like parents die. They join a friend group and they're all evil people and do evil, awful things and blah, blah, blah. But I think they were trying to do something more grounded in what most girls deal with.
Yeah.
Which is just normal family things happening of moving and unsure about grandparents and you don't understand like how the friendships are really at. Like you're always just kind of like you don't know where it's at because when you're I think she's 11 or 12 in 6th grade. You don't know where, like, you assume that they're your friends, but I mean, at any moment something could happen and maybe they're not. So I feel like it was just a lot more mild in its conflict because it was trying to be more grounded in like reality of, to maybe reach out and connect with more girls. Tristan, you had something that you were.
What about Licorice Pizza?
Oh,
I liked I think I liked Licorice Pizza.
I don't think you liked it as much as me.
I didn't like it as much as you, but I did. I think I rated it like 4.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, I would agree with that. I think so. Burning down that like big feeling I had and kind of chipping away at it as we're talking just now. I'm thinking that the problems I mentioned before can be whittled down to we didn't get clear-cut conflict resolutions and then get another one. It was all 3 of these things happening, and they kind of jumped from each one to each one.
Yeah.
And then we just had a 20-minute kind of wrap-up for all of it at the end. And I think what I wanted, I think that the detriment to that is it feels middling. It feels like it can't decide what it wants to talk about. But it does present all of them. It does conclude them. I just wasn't a fan of the way that they did that they did present it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that there wasn't a legit conclusion to a lot of these things because in life,
She's
some
12.
of these things, like your life isn't going to conclude. You're not going to get all the answers at 12.
Yeah.
And I like how it felt like a piling on her life. And in reality, it really wasn't that severe. But when you're that age, and that's what I think that the movie does so well, is that it captures how a sixth grader is going to internalize and feel all of the things that are happening, which I think is really cool because it's hard to remember how you felt as a sixth grader,
Right.
And so I think the writers and directors did a really good job of capturing how that feels, especially when
Do you
it
know
comes.
this director?
Me specifically, no.
While you're looking that up real quick, just because you mentioned Licorice Pizza.
let's go.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, she did Edge of 17, which is one of my favorite coming of age movies.
Nice.
Not my favorite. That would definitely be Perks of Being a Wallflower. But this
You
is
said one.
yeah, but it is one of my favorites. I was saying something before the director part.
Yeah.
Oh,
Feels like
so-
a piling on.
and well, just
That
the
they did
directors.
really well.
Yeah, they just the writers and them. They did a good job of being able to communicate, and specifically with obviously the movie is called "Are You There, God?" so it has religious implications. And I think they did a good job of communicating how a 6th grader would try to understand religion and how, because I feel like some of the thoughts that she had were some of the similar things that I had when I was thinking about whether or not there is or is not a higher power and those kind of things. So, and you don't think of it in those terms, but
Right.
I think they did a good job meddling with that. And and if you don't agree with any of it, personally, it's like this is also a 6th grader going through this. So yeah, she's not going to have the most philosophical, great, profound reasons of why she believes these things and why she's doing these things, because she's 11. Yeah. She's thinking like an 11-year-old, and she's taking this in like one. So when I didn't agree with some of the things that I feel like the movie may have been trying to tell me, it's like, well, the movie's not trying to tell me this thing. It's an 11-year-old processing these things. Sure. And when I took it that way, I liked it. That stance of it. Yeah. But you had something else?
No. That was kind of it for me.
Okay. Yeah. Tristan, what were your general thoughts?
I really liked it a lot. And I'm going to take credit. I'm the reason that we watched this movie.
She did. I was asking if they would rather watch the sci-fi action movie Knights of
Zodiac.
Yeah. Because I was like, do we just want to shit on a movie for an hour? Or do we want to watch something that might be good? And I had no idea what this was about. But I saw a 4.0 on Letterboxd, and I was like,
I didn't see that.
Should be decent.
I was worried that you were, when you said a movie might be bad, I thought you were talking about this one.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I really wanted to see it. No. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say, I don't think, but I really enjoyed it. I laughed. I cried. I was there with her. And she wanted to wear a bra. Me too.
The theater was, I think our theater was really having fun with it too.
Except those people in the back corner. Did you see them?
No.
It sounded like a boy, and I was like, "This is really weird." That in this movie.
There was a 10-year-old or 7-year-old boy.
It sounded like a young boy. Yeah.
I think it was just there was his mom or something.
Yeah.
There was a
10
or 11-year girl in my row, and she was same as you, Tristan, just right there with her.
I would think it would be awkward for me. If I was 11 and I went and saw this movie with.
I feel like it may be kind of reassuring that other people.
This is what's happening to me, and everyone knows that because I'm the same age as this girl, but I'm here with my mom.
Gotcha.
And all these strangers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I really liked it. I had a good old time. I thought the main actress did really well too.
You got something?
I had another question for you, but okay. I think you kind of answered it. Is that you you're the only girl on the podcast. You're the only one that has truly felt these things.
Ask me about my period.
So do you feel like this movie actually represented how girls feel in girl groups?
Yeah.
Because it felt real.
I think it did a good job showing peer pressure.
Yeah.
For a girl like that. I feel like I was kind of like her. I didn't really have. I don't know how to explain it. I had good friends, but it's it's weird. I don't know. It's just weird.
It's just at that age group you don't know,
yeah.
Everything feels like it's so long because your life has been so short. That you just don't. You feel unsure about everything.
Yeah.
You feel unsure about your friends. You feel like at any moment they may change. Because everybody's changing all the time.
Yeah.
Personality-wise.
And it's is this person actually a good person? Or do I actually want to be this person's friend, or is it just convenience? That was a big takeaway I had.
Yeah. And or am I just friends with them because they're the first people to be nice to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that's what I meant.
And am I enemies with this? Not enemies, but do I not like this person just because I had one bad interaction or thought, and so I just created that, and so they play with that pretty well too.
Yeah.
So
and learning not to trust what everyone says, and
I like how they don't just make the main character out to be this all-knowing 11-year-old that knows that these are just rumors, or these are the good people, these are the bad people, this is the right religion, this is the bad. She is truly trying to figure out.
I also like that with the boy. Oh, sorry, I don't.
That's
like
fine.
it.
You can just say boy. You don't have to specify.
there's a boy.
I mean, this
that
is
gets
a coming
picked
of
on.
age.
Can I say that?
Sure.
There's a boy that gets picked on. And she could have easily, like, they could have made her to, like, stand up for people and, like, be an activist and, like, take on this role of, like, heroic type of thing, but they didn't. And I like that they didn't, because that's hard to do when you're 11 and you're especially at a new school. And
when your friends, like, it's hard to speak up against your friends.
Yes.
Our dog's being annoying.
Yeah, if he didn't jump down. Anyway.
Okay. Well, I'll say my general thoughts.
Please do. What are you doing?
I think I very much enjoyed it. These slice of life movies are movies that I very much enjoy. I liked almost every single character except for maybe one.
Curious.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be curious. I told you in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
Oh, you did?
But nonetheless, I very much liked all of the characters, and I thought that they all had individuality. They all felt like they were doing things that felt right for their character. And it's nice to have a movie that is a majority of just good normal people and seeing them just deal with life in different ways. Like the parents were not perfect, but they were a lot of fun and seemed like great people. And it's nice to see movies where you do get just drilled over and over with everybody's parents are bad, and you get a piece of that in the movie, but
it was much more normal.
Yeah. I feel like this was just fun, and it's a fun slice of life movie. I very much connected this a lot with 8th grade, but thought it was a much more fun version of that, of dealing with that kind of awkwardness of growing up and being that preteen age. But this movie went way more of the kind of feel good and fun nature rather than more of a grounded and almost thriller-esque type of movie that 8th grade gets to sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
I like seeing the mom and dad's relationship.
Yeah.
They, a lot of times in movies like this, their marriage is a problem. Like the parents have marital problems. Yeah. But I like that wasn't an issue in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You see that a lot in movies, and it was very nice to have that kind of switch to, obviously, divorce and marital problems is a common thing that happens. So it's not bad when that does happen, but it feels like
it's like a breath of fresh air, though.
Yeah, because it's low hanging fruit to it's an easy way to add conflict in a movie is to have fighting parents or divorcing parents, and they decided to go against that.
They went total opposite.
Yeah,
and I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. They also, this movie is out of New York and New Jersey. I was very curious on the location because it seemed, especially at the beginning, that this was going to be a movie for New Yorkers where they were just pumping themselves up to talk about how great New York is. Because it was a very New York is the greatest city in the world. Why would you ever want to leave this place? Blah blah blah. Yeah. And I'm like, I hate New Yorkers for that. So I was gearing to be like, this is just New Yorkers fluffing themselves, but thankfully it wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's a common trope, I think, in life too. Is if you're from New York, you're not from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And if you have to go there. But I mean, we see that in shows anyway. I think a lot of times when characters start families, they typically will move to the suburbs, and the suburbs just being the state of New Jersey, I guess. So,
yeah. But, yeah. And I liked the suburb life that it got us a show, and made me sad that that's not the way that places are now. They're not neighbor friendly like they used to be.
Yeah.
So, okay. Do you guys want to do recommendations, or you got anything else you want to say spoiler-free wise?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay,
with
recommendation?
Yeah, I think so.
I recommend.
Yeah, no, I think this is
Yeah.
a really fun movie. I think at the end of the day, you'll like the word "fun" is a word that I keep going to. Like it's very awkward and it does deal with periods and childhood problems and sex talk stuff and all that, but it does it in a very lighthearted, fun way. And it's probably a big reason for that being the main actress and the girl. Her character is more, I mean, she's awkward because she's 11, but she's also tries to be upbeat. So it keeps the movie being that way. So, yeah, I do recommend as well.
Sweet.
Great.
Okay, so we're going to take a short little break, and then we'll be right back for the spoiler part of the review.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Really?
All right, and we're back.
We're back.
After that short little break, and we're going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you cared all about spoilers, now is the time to stop.
Get out!
That's so rude. What if they want to listen?
Sorry.
You are more than
Heather-
welcome to listen.
Heather, I'm talking to you.
Heather.
I know you'll listen.
Heather.
She told me the other day that she always listens to the spoiler episode.
Even if she hasn't seen it?
If she hadn't seen it, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
We have quite a few. So, yes, thank you that listen either way. But if you are going to watch the movie and you care about spoilers, you can pause it and come back after you've watched the movie because we all recommend it. Okay. So, before we forget anything, or before I forget, there's a moment where Mr. Cute Boy that everyone loves pinches.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It says a pinch for an inch. Looks like you should use it.
Yeah.
It looks like you
He
could
said,
use it.
I know where you should use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really hoping she was going to say something back like, I heard you need it more than I do. And like, that would have absolutely ruined any boy until they're like 33.
Oh, yeah.
That would have crushed a sixth grader.
Talk
And
about a
like,
roast.
and like, however like cool you thought you were, the second someone says something like that, you're done for.
You're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
'Cause-
Say goodbye.
Because you're in sixth grade. You haven't grown yet. So you do need those. So, yeah, that would have, I was really hoping, but instead it just, it was fine. Like,
yeah.
that would be way too smooth for
Yeah.
her, probably.
I was about to say, that doesn't.
But I was really hoping there was going to be some sort of comeback like that. And I was like, dang it. Because that would have been really funny.
You should have just yelled it in the theater. We all would have
Maybe.
laughed. It would be great. Speaking of that, though,
Yeah. Speaking
there
of
is
laughing or
that
an
scene.
extra inch. Okay.
that there is one casting in this that I didn't think was a good pick, but it must be good for like how she's described in the book. The girl that is like further along developing wise,
Yeah.
she looks like she's 18.
Yeah.
And everybody else is like 11 or 12.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I don't think there's anybody that looks that much older.
And it's not necessarily even like the looks, it's the height. She's
No. We
No?
had a girl in my class when I was in sixth grade.
Yeah.
She was 5'9" in sixth grade.
Yeah.
And everybody else was like, she felt so like
Yeah.
that's real. Like
That
she
is, I
felt-
think that is one thing about that age, sixth grade. You have a wide range of people that have developed in different ways. Like I think I hit puberty pretty late, and it's much harder to tell as a boy than a girl, because when you hit puberty as a girl, you start bleeding. As a boy, there's no like,
yeah.
you just like, you eventually start growing hair, but like you
In
could.
weird places.
Yeah, but like that, like you could technically be like, I also just don't grow a lot of hair. So like I probably had puberty and then I didn't grow
Sure.
facial hair until I was like a senior.
Yeah.
But I was,
You poor man.
I know. Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
I'd obviously already hit puberty at that point. But my point is
But
like,
Trevor was growing a full beard.
Like freshman
yeah,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we had people that were growing. Yeah. But I mean like back in sixth grade, like I was short because I hadn't hit puberty yet. I didn't start growing until like 8th grade. So like, but there were other people that had started like I was really short in elementary school, and now I'm 6'1.5". So like,
Yeah.
I think that it at least kind of plays in well there. I have to sneeze, so sorry guys.
Excuse me.
you?
Yeah.
we're just letting it all out.
Yeah, we're trying to describe to you what it would have been like during puberty time.
Yeah.
Just weird noises coming out of your body.
But I at least think they picked a good grade for that to be like okay, because there were girls that had breast already by 6th grade, but she does look like legitimately old. But I didn't hate it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I think they were probably just having a hard time finding a good enough actress that was the same age that looked the part that they wanted. They wanted someone that looked legitimately more like that
Developed.
she had developed 2 years prior to everyone else. Like that makes a difference.
What was her name in the movie?
I just saw it. It's like IOL something.
IOL. Okay.
Oh, her name in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember what her name in the movie was, but her real name is like
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw us way off track here. I can find it if you guys want to.
I just saw it.
Yeah, I can find it if you guys want. If you
It's
want
right here.
Oh.
ISOL.
ISOL.
Her name is Laura.
Laura. Okay.
Her
I don't see
name
her
in
in
the
the
movie is
credits.
Laura.
Oh, there it is.
ISOL.
How old is she?
I tried to look. I couldn't. It didn't like outright say.
Maybe she's a new actress. Doesn't have a lot of.
She's had
She's
2
in
movies.
Disney. Yeah.
Okay, well, what was okay? Spoiler stuff
Okay.
that we
Spoiler
liked
stuff.
and don't like.
So that was the biggest thing, I think. I mean, like I said, overall, man, this movie's pretty solid. And the stuff about the characters that I like is Nancy. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Especially with Nancy and her mom, we get character development for them, even if it's we don't see it. Like we see her send the postcard saying that she got it, when obviously she didn't. And then just the way Nancy's mom reacts, a very like she plays a good housewife kind of thing. You get the vibe of like when Nancy has her period, the mom goes in and she's very much just like very pragmatic and okay, take care of yourself and then let's get back to dinner kind of thing. Like she's not like cold, but it's very just, you know, what happens next compared to the Margaret's mom, who is very
Emotional.
Yeah, and very much like, how can I help you? Supportive, yeah. So I liked that.
So, random question.
Yeah.
For the woman in the room.
I'll leave.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Are girls that excited?
Oh.
Because they made them like super eager.
So
like,
here's the thing.
They wanted it so bad, and like I obviously have no idea.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna answer your question. Here's
Please
the
do.
thing. It's a weird feeling, and I think they showed it well in this movie because I developed later than a lot of my friends or like the people in my grade.
16.
No, I was 14. If you would like to know.
You and all the listeners.
Yeah, I don't have a problem talking about this.
Yeah.
And it's like a weird. I found it was shaving my legs, but like they didn't mention that at all in this movie, which I thought
They
was
showed
a
it.
little strange.
Well,
they showed it, but it wasn't like something people were eager to do. I remember kids making fun of kids because their legs were hairy.
Gotcha.
Like girls getting made fun of.
I wonder if maybe it wasn't as big of a deal in the 70s.
Yeah, probably.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because
Probably.
it showed hair on her legs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which I was a little confused about because I didn't think
Yeah.
women started growing hair until they got their puberty.
Oh
Girl.
no, they were pretty hairy.
Oh, before?
And on the legs or
Before?
elsewhere?
No, the legs.
Yeah,
Okay.
before.
Okay. Well, because like guys, it doesn't gain color until
Oh,
puberty.
yeah,
It's all
no,
it's
it
just
does.
peach fuzz.
I had friends.
like legitimate just peach fuzz.
Yeah.
So
No, I had friends who had really dark hair, and you could
Gotcha.
see it.
gotcha. Yeah.
And so they're some of them shaved like really early. Anyway, it's a weird mix of like you're eager to grow up, like you want it to happen, but it's also really scary.
Okay. They all just didn't really have the scary part until it happened.
Yeah.
They just had the like, we're so ready, blah 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 blah. Like we like.
Yeah, but I get
it was a
why
race.
she was excited when she finally got hers because everybody else did,
Yeah.
you know, and so she was like, finally.
And man, what perfect timing for it to happen right before you leave
Summer
for
camp?
3 months.
Yeah, I
summer
was not
camp.
at home when it happened, so that was fun for me. I was on a trip
Who can
with my
relate?
youth group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dad picked me up from the trip,
And you were like, give me
and
tampons.
I was like, "Please don't talk to me. I'm just trying to get home and talk to Mom."
Also, hold on. The very end of this movie, they have the stupid song that's the same song for every single, like,
I'm your Venus.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
your
yeah.
fire. What's your desire?
That was so stupid.
I thought it was
Why?
pretty.
That's too cheesy.
Well, I thought it was a little on the nose.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's way too cheesy to have the commercial that they do for this as, like, the moment that it finally, like, that's just way too cheesy.
And I don't mind that it's that song exactly. What I minded was I don't even know how to say it. And I mean, everyone's going to take this differently, but the way I took it was she just has this revelation of like religion is stupid and I don't think there's anything there, and she turns in that paper, and then we get to the dance, and she tells the teacher that he's a great teacher or whatever from the 2 or 3 scenes that we saw him in.
Yeah.
And then it launches into that song, and I got the vibe of like, you're your own goddess.
Wait,
Go,
no.
you believe in yourself.
The I'm
kind
Your
of thing.
Venus, I thought, showed up right when she got her period.
It's when they're dancing.
Oh.
Yeah,
For some reason, I thought it was once she got.
I think. Do
Her
you remember where
period.
it's at, Tristan?
I don't know when it started.
Okay. Well, I think it was at least good. At the end of the movie, she's still contemplating it. It leaves it open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she prays again.
Yeah.
I do think it. Like I said, everything that I dislike about it theologically, it's an 11-year-old, 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
fine because at the very end she thinks that there's a possibility of a God again because her prayers were answered.
Yeah.
That's kind of what, and the one reason why she didn't believe in God is because she didn't feel like her prayers were answered.
Yeah.
And that's what an 11-year-old would think.
Which is fine, but that choice of song,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
that's like
For some reason,
Oh, you were relating it to the religious part, and you were relating it to something else.
the period part.
The period part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I took
Wait,
it as
and like just right there. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That conversation we
That's
just
what
had
we
right
do well.
there. That's like my core problem I had going in.
Is that
Or-
it's
or
just
coming
dealing?
out
It's
of.
just having so many different things that it's battling at once.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Anyway.
but I don't mind it because I feel like that's what someone that age would be dealing with all these different things, and like it's going to be a jumbled mess of everything overlapping each other and blah blah blah. But I can see movie wise how there's a conflict of interest and, and such. So you don't understand what tone's going with what theme, if that makes any sense.
We can move on. What are you gonna say, sis?
nothing.
That's not true.
I know, but I don't want to say it because I don't want to bring it up again.
Oh.
Because we're over it.
Let's have conflict.
No,
I didn't get enough conflict.
You
in the past
literally
2
just
hours.
said anyway. We don't have to talk about it.
No. Okay.
I do really enjoy the progression of her and Laura's relationship.
I do too.
It was something that was kind of done later on in the movie. But I like it very easily could have had her like not make fun of the bigger dude. Who I thought was great as well.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, because he was funny and like he's it's very easy to write the guy that gets made fun of is like the shy
Yeah.
But instead they made him, I mean, obviously large. So you're your kid
Yeah,
and
you're
you're
gonna
large, you're going to get made fun of. But he still had a chipper cheer attitude.
Yeah.
Out. And like that's.
And invited everybody to his birthday party. Like,
His swanky birthday party.
yeah.
Well, he was just
like, you
trying to
do you,
kiss.
buddy.
Yeah, he's-
It was really just a ruse to kiss some chicks. But
yeah.
They showed up for him.
but he also, well, he was rich and whatever. But,
So
but he was at least respectful and just did a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
that
He
was
didn't-
very cute.
He didn't force, like the other dude, the suave dude, which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But she loved it, so.
Did
it's
she
just-
though?
Yes,
well,
she
she-
talked about it for like 2 days.
She was definitely infatuated with it.
She.
Yes,
well,
it's
yes.
proof that women don't actually want consent. So what I'm
Oh
saying,
my
Gosh.
goodness.
That was a
Okay.
joke. That was a
Will
joke,
you
guys.
just let the woman talk, please? Thank you.
that was a joke, though. Please
She.
kill me. She what?
Listen, She. I think she was mostly only excited about it because she knew it would make everyone jealous, and she got the cute guy. Like, I
Huh.
think that's where a lot of her excitement came
Okay.
from.
When she really wanted the moose.
Yeah.
No, she definitely did want the moose. See, I just thought of it
I
like
mean, she probably was infatuated with it. Sure, yeah. I'm not disagreeing, but just the way that she responded to him in the bathroom,
yeah.
I was like, she's really only excited because she's the one that got to do it.
Yeah. I felt it as like she didn't know how she would like the actual like a
Sure.
kiss. And then once she felt it, she was like, "Oh, I do like that." And like I don't really want this guy
Yeah.
to do this, but I do
But it
like
happens.
this.
Yeah.
And so I think it was her mind like going of like, now I've had a kiss and I actually do like it. So I can have a personal connection with it because I didn't get my first kiss until I was 20. So I don't know how it felt if you're 11-year-old
I didn't
getting
either.
around kissing people.
It's very sweet. It's very sweet of you.
Well, it wasn't
Oh, I
Tristan,
thought-
so
No,
You
I'm
were saying-
aware. No, I'm just
Oh,
saying
okay.
that's sweet. That's sweet.
I was 19. But I definitely don't want to talk about that.
I can't believe you've done this to me.
I was 14.
That's more normal.
Oh. Cool.
It is.
Great. We were just all shouting out ages. I just I joined the party.
Yeah. I was expecting you to.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Join the
but-
party.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Great.
The anatomy book was, I thought, a great bit.
It was.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Along with the Playboy
And
stuff.
realistic.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, you're not allowed. You've been annoying over there. But yeah, that like even as a dude,
You know what was
like you'd always just go straight to the
Yeah.
genitals
Yeah.
and
Let
just
me see them boobies.
yeah, even if they're scientific boobies,
Yeah, if they're
Or
drawn in pencil.
scientific vagina. You're like, what is this?
That's accurate. Yeah.
You know what's accurate? We must
Did you
increase
do
our
that?
bust. Not
Is that
quite
real?
that.
That's real?
Yeah.
That rain dance?
No,
The
but I mean,
breast dance?
people don't do that dance in the chant.
Oh,
But-
okay. But wishing for
Yeah.
okay. Well, I thought like you were saying that chant was something that all
I was
girls
just
do,
no,
and I was like, what?
no.
I thought it was a funny bit. Also, the bit of her screaming at her brother was pretty good too.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
crazy scream. yeah.
And accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. What else? What else, people?
So one of the things I thought I feel like I wanted a little bit more of and that we didn't really get. I mean, we kind of do. Like I said, this movie just tackles a lot. And yeah, everything kind of ends up concluding. But I don't know. I feel like they've cheated. They found the way to do it. So the mom talks about not having, or like she's not going to do art class stuff anymore. She's just going to stay at home. And then she takes forever to pick furniture,
Yeah.
which I didn't really understand why. And then she gets the painting to
Well,
draw the bird.
She takes forever to find furniture because she overbooked herself with the parents association.
Yeah, but we see her like looking through magazines and going to stores and stuff and being like, Like, why don't I just do this?
I can tell you why. Probably.
Oh.
Because
Do it.
she says when they are at a furniture place, she says, I just want us to have the perfect place and the perfect house with the perfect furniture and the perfect family. And so to me, that meant that she was scared to buy furniture because she didn't want to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so it was like it had to be a specific way, and she was supposed to be the specific way, even though it was against her nature.
Right, but then we just get furniture in the living room.
Because her parents were coming.
showed up.
Right, but
And she wants to look put together.
It just forced a decision.
yes,
Yeah.
I understand that, but we didn't see it. It's just all of a sudden, boom, there's they built up this whole thing with the furniture, and then all of a sudden, boom, there's furniture in the house.
Do you want her to go to a store and just say that one?
I wanted to see the conclusion to that. I wanted to hear her say,
I just think that is the conclusion. The conclusion of that arc is just she was.
Other things were more important. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
anyway. And then we do get her teaching art classes again at the end. So, like, I think furthering into all that, they do all the stuff, but we're only getting a few scenes each. And so even with the movie in general, what they choose to leave out versus what they choose to show seem to be a little jumpy to me at times. So, like, talking about the editing, not that anything was lost on me or anything was like incoherent because of that, but it was something I noticed.
Yeah. They just decided to throw in a lot of stuff with the mom and not the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie's supposed to be around Margaret, not necessarily the mom, but they
Mm-hmm.
definitely throw in a lot.
Sure.
That I'm just assuming that's kind of what you're saying. Is like it's not really needed. There's so many other things.
That's not really what I'm saying. Well, I was just saying it in general. It's interesting in the movie as a whole. Sorry, I kind of switched lanes there at the end. The movie as a whole, it's interesting what they chose to leave in versus what they chose to take out in little scenes. And I'm trying to think of an example, and I can't really think of one at the moment.
Sure.
But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the character I didn't like was the grandma.
Oh,
Really?
Kathy Bates.
Yeah, I hated her. She was awful.
Just because
She
she was
wasn't great.
protective, or
She's just
It was pushy.
yeah.
Oh,
She's
that's
just and like I'm not saying it was a detriment to the film or anything. It's just I don't like those styles of grandparents that just try to force. And the other parents ended up being the same way as well, kind of.
Yeah.
But she was just the more consistent one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the first scene you get is just her
Yeah.
over parenting.
Yeah.
And like that pisses me off more than anything. When grandparents decide that they are the parent and they know better than their own kid and they're just going to do the things. And like there are times where like that's just what a grandma does. Like if it's you can have the candy at our house. You can watch the PG-13 movie at our house, but not necessarily whatever.
Right,
Like that
yeah.
stuff. It's like the okay grandma thing, kind of overreaching her bounds, but she seems to overreach at every single month, and it just got so tiring and annoying. And they try to make her out to be this good character grandma, especially at the end of like showing up out of Florida, which I mean is another thing of overreaching and
Yeah.
being way too protective, and ended up being the whole reason why there was a big issue with that. I mean, if the mom's grandparents were there and they brought up the whole God thing, I think there would have been a discussion of, well, I've kind of like I've tried different things and I don't know.
yeah.
And like I think, and so we don't get that because the other grandma was there, and so
I also think that's a lot of pressure for a kid.
yeah, which people are that they put a lot of pressure on kids about religion, and that stinks.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all believers here. Well, not to put things in your mouth, but we're all believers here.
Yes, please.
But I also I don't think any of us would want to over enforce anything on anybody.
Yeah.
And put that kind of pressure on somebody that's just trying to figure out what life is in general.
Yeah. And she's a good kid.
Yeah. Yeah. She was in general.
Yeah.
Not however about her being a
Oh.
good kid or whatever. But that whole year semester or the whole year paper that they had to do, it was like a half a page long.
I know.
And what the heck?
Yeah, but she's in 6th grade in the 70s.
Well, maybe the 70s were that easy, but I had to do book reports and stuff, and those things were at least 2 to 3 pages.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was funny too.
Yeah.
But I
was like, hold up. And also, she didn't do any research. She just got upset. And I mean, it was like a like life experience. Yes.
Yeah.
But usually those expect like book reading and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was humorous how they just kind of like threw that in and kind of like not even a full page.
She
long.
didn't.
Yeah. And then the teacher was all like, "What? How dare you?"
I don't think it was how dare you.
No, of like he was concerned about it being like, and it's just me out there. And I like a teacher would be concerned if they feel like they're alone.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's when you get
get depressy spaghetti.
And unfortunately, kids at that age can get real dark.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, his reaction was on par and everything. But
There you go.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, man.
Anything else,
Not for me.
you guys?
No.
Want to chat?
No.
About? Well, I can't. I don't know her name, but the black friend. I thought the relationship was really
I think it's Abby.
I'm
Is that
checking.
is
Okay.
that
Janie.
Jeannie.
Her name's Amari Alexis Price.
Jeannie. Huh.
And this is her only film.
Wow.
I
She's pretty
liked her a
good.
lot, and I liked their scene of buying the pads together and like how they became friends through somebody else.
Yeah.
And I liked that a
liked that
lot.
too.
Yeah.
And I like at the end when she goes and dances with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And that seemed
Yeah.
like she's now going to be friends with Margaret more than those other two friends.
Yeah.
You bringing that up did make me think. The little 11-year-old girl that was in my row. There were 2 times when and they were pretty loud. I'll just say
Yeah.
it. They were pretty loud. Especially during that scene though, when they were buying the pads together. I think like it was a daughter, a mother, and the grandma all sitting together.
Yeah.
And they all had their own little business. But like they get the pads, and then I think the grandma was like, "Oh, please let it be a woman," or something like that. And then
That's
they
exactly what they say.
yeah, exactly. And then she said like a split second before they did. And then when the cashier lady switches out for the teenage guy, I heard that little girl goes, "No!" or something like that. And I was like, "Oh,
I think I
okay,
heard
let's-
that actually.
That's funny.
Let's chill out here a little bit." And then when Margaret's trying on the pad and, or whatever, she goes, "That's not how you do it," or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, somebody's
Also, I liked that this was based in the 70s because pads are a lot different now.
Mhm.
And those were thick. Let me just say. I mean, they have thick pads now, but like, and so uncomfortable. Like when she's like moving all around,
she's like doing
in her room.
squats.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's real. People do that. Yeah.
Hey, it was her first time. She was just trying to feel it out.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm saying, yeah, that's real. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, ratings.
3.
425.
425.
Yeah.
4.
Yay.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. So those are our ratings. Next week, I believe, is Fast and Furious X.
Wow.
Ow.
Sorry, I'm so excited.
I believe. I could be
I
wrong,
hope you're right.
but I'm pretty sure May 19th.
I got away from my microphone.
Did you?
Yeah, I went over here. You can't
Well,
hear me
I believe May 19th is the release date.
It is May 19th.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next week we're doing
How
Fast
beautiful.
X.
Fast X
We're
with our
Fast
cups.
X.
We're back in the
Our
driver's
wonderful
seat.
cups.
Yep. We did do the Fast X bundle because people wanted pop and popcorn, and we decided to spend too much money to get all the stuff.
Hey, I had $10 off because.
But now we have ginormous cups that are great for water. So
Exactly.
And then after Fast X, it's The Little Mermaid.
Oh. Oh. Aquafina's in it.
yeah, that doesn't mean it's gonna be good.
Aquafina's in it, playing Aquafina.
In
And
bird form.
There's a scene circulating Twitter right now
Of her underwater.
Yeah, the bird
Uh-huh.
is underwater with the fish and the mermaid,
To be
just
fair,
chatting it up.
I think that
You know-
bird can go underwater. I mean, obviously the context is still funny, but I think that is
But I don't think it
That
can
makes-
probably go underwater. It
Yeah.
probably cannot be underwater.
right.
Like humans can go underwater. What you can't do is go underwater and speak and breathe water. That's
fair.
what the bird's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's also trailers and stuff, and it looks very dead,
Yeah.
lifeless,
That's sad.
and yeah,
also,
that's why they need to stop doing these,
Yeah.
Eric
and they need to
does
stop.
not look like what Eric should look like.
They also need to stop trying to change the characters and then blame the movies failing on the fact that they changed the characters. They make bad movies and then they just blame it all on that. It's been a problem for Disney for a while.
Speaking of the movie looking kind of lifeless, when we saw the opening shot of the ship on the water, I thought it was a trailer for The Last Voyage of Demeter, which is a Dracula movie.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, I was a little confused.
Yeah.
With that. And it's also stupid. We didn't even get an Elements trailer.
But
Oh yeah, why didn't we get an Elements trailer?
They're not marketing it.
Fast X.
What? Oh yeah.
Next week.
Yep. That is the movie. So thank you guys so much for listening. We'll do Fast X and then maybe The Little Mermaid if I can stomach it. We'll see. Bye, guys.
Hey, moron!
You talking to me? You talking to me?
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Hello?
What an idiot!
Well, what do you expect? I'm the movie moron.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Don't call me stupid.
Oh, right! To call you stupid would be an insult to stupid people! I've known sheep that could outwit you.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Man, you are one pathetic loser. No offense. No, none taken.